Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I am your host, Pascal Mayala, and I want to say this. Normally, I do it right here in France on Monday morning and on Saturday morning, about 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. But this time, I do it exceptionally right now, not for the remaining future, just for right now on Thursday. So we do got a lot of talk a lot of things right now today. But first, if you like this podcast, and you want to listen to more content of my podcast, you can you can follow this podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on Castbox, Amazon, and what I just forgot what other person they love to listen. I think also in if I'm not mistaken, on Google Podcast Manager. Yeah, just kidding. I just joking with y'all. In Google Podcast Manager, and now you can listen to this podcast on YouTube. I just put my podcast on YouTube, so you can listen. You can listen if you don't have time to listen on any application or any podcast any stream. So you can listen to on YouTube. So good news for everybody. So you can enjoy it and listen to my podcast. Now, before that I go to my another subject, I just want to thank everybody who has follow my podcast around the world. So shout out to people in the United States, Canada, in the UK, France, Australia, now Sweden, and I think we can grow this podcast together because we know anything is possible. Now, let's talk about the NBA first. That we had like what? How many games? Like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games that have been played. And here's the result. If you missed it, Miami at Cleveland Cavaliers. The Heat won 107 to 104. Jimmy Butler with 30 points and 4 steals. The game performance of the night. Next game, the Pacers at Piston. So the Pacers won 122 to 103. Pascal Siakam with 25 points and 8 rebounds. Kate Cunningham, he got a good game, 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. The Milwaukee Bucks at TD Garden against the Boston Celtics. So the Celtics won 122 to 119. Damian Lillard with another extraordinary game, 32 points and 6 assists. My bad, sorry. And Jason Tatum, 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. Wow. The Kings Kings versus the Raptors in Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Damn. So the King won 123 to 89 against my Raptors. Sabonis, another triple double, 13 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists. Man, I'll talk about him later. But let's continue. The Jazz at the Thunder. The Thunder won 119 against the Jazz 107. Chet Holmgren with 35 points, career high, 35 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Ooh, this he can be a candidate. So we're talking about it later. The Grizzlies versus the Warriors, which it was an important win for the Warriors. 137 for the Warriors to 116 against the Grizzlies. Kaminga, 26 points. He's on a rise right now. Now, Suns, the Sixers at Phoenix. So Phoenix Suns win with 115 to 102. Grayson Allen, career top performer. Grayson Allen with 32 points. And finally, the Clippers against the Trailblazers. Clipper win 116 to 103. Paul George, a good game, 27 points and 6 rebounds. Now let's go back with the Sabonis against my Raptors, because he recorded a triple double, which is insane. I mean Sabonis, he's special. I mean, if you look at if you look at his game, he's not like a traditional center. He's like a combined with a power forward. A body as a power forward, but really he's like a small forward. And according to ESPN right now, he's leading in 24 triple-double of the season. I mean, wow. He's special, man. Sure, he has been in the NBA All-Star? Yes, absolutely. I mean, he should have been an All-Star this year, but it don't matter. It don't matter. Because they want to prove something. Sacramento King want to prove something right now, to show you that maybe the future is bright for them. And that this team will be led by De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. And also that there's something on my research. According to ESPN, he also has had the record, at least a double-double, in 51 consecutive games. Matching with who? 2 Hall of Famers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Moses Malone. For the 14 long streak in the NBA history. You see? Should he be in the discussion, in MVP discussion right now? I think so. Even Coach Mike Brown said he deserved to be in consideration at the MVP run with his performance. And you know what? I might agree with him. I agree with Mike Brown. He should be in the discussion, at least in the top 10. I don't know, top 5, I don't know. But I do think that Sabonis should be in the MVP discussion. That's all I got to say about that. He should be in the MVP discussion, for real. Now, I want to talk about the Bucks versus the Celtics. Another win for the Celtics, which is amazing. It's amazing. Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, I believe he's injured. Yeah, he's injured. My concern, I do have a concern for both teams with the Boston Celtics and with Milwaukee Bucks. And I want to start with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Boston thing I'll do it later. I'll do it after. The Milwaukee Bucks. You know, Chris Middleton just came back against the Phoenix Sun, and he looked good. He looked good on this game. I think if I look right now against the Celtics, he had 22 points. 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. So he's pretty good. Right now, my concern is can the Bucks be healthy? Can the Bucks, when I say the Bucks, can gel into the playoff? Because you know Giannis is Giannis. Damian Lillard will do his thing. The bench will do their thing too. But my concern is Chris Middleton. And the reason why I said Chris Middleton, because he hasn't played for a couple of months. I mean, he didn't play a couple of months because due to his injuries. And in the playoff, that would be very concerned because you know Damian Lillard wants the ball. As the point guard facilitator, shooting a point guard, he should be the second option. Chris Middleton is pretty much the third option. Giannis will do his thing. But my concern for them is just Chris Middleton's health. You know, because he's up in age. And you know what we say with Father Time? Father Time is undefeated. So that's my concern with the Bucks. For the Celtics, for them is, can the Bucks, I'm sorry, not Bucks, but the Celtics make it to the finals? Because remember last year they were down 3, I believe it 3-0, then they came back to tie the series, then the Jason Tatum injury happened and they got smoked in Game 7 against the Heat. And also another problem that I have is they're shooting too much 3. Because I watch those Celtics game, and sometimes when I watch their game, and the way they shoot too much 3 points, it's starting me to cringe a little bit. When I say cringe, I mean they're forcing three shots. Even especially Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum tried to force the situation and facilitate, but also shooting 3. So that's my concern with the Celtics. Number one, can the Celtics be consistent? 2, they need to stop shooting too much 3. 3, Jason Tatum needs to show up and stop forcing a situation for him. So this is my the concern with the Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now let's go to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they're faced against the Utah Jazz. And let me tell you this. For the Oklahoma City Thunders. I mean, they're up in the rise. They're like what? After this, I'm gonna look at the standing. The OKC, maybe not now they're a contender, but right now they're uprising to be a contender. If you look at Shea SGA. He scored 20 out of his 31 points in the second half. And Chet Holmgren, I don't know. Chet Holmgren should be considered in the rookie of the year because look, this game he scored 35 points and he tied his career high with 14 rebound. So he should be considered also in the rookie of the year with Wemby. So I know people will say this, and I'll get to the rookie of the year after this. After when I talk about the rest of the game that I want to mention. I want to mention, but he should be considered in the rookie of the year. So good win for the Thunder. And what I said, the sky is the limit for this young OKC. My concern for them is the inexperience in the playoff. The only player who went to the playoff, it was SGA. But that was in 2020 when Chris Paul was the point guard of the OKC, if you remember well. And he was surrounded with a bunch of veterans around him. Now, the Warriors must win. It was a must win for them. Because if they didn't win this game, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if they're going to be out in the playoff? So this is the thing I want to say about the Warriors. Only this one. I'm glad they won the game. Let's see the other game, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna look at their schedules. I'm looking at their schedules right now. I'm gonna look at their schedule. How many games left they had? They had like what? 14 game left. 14 game left. So those 14 game left, they have to win 10 out of their 4. I'll say this, 10 out of their 4. So, and when I say 10 out of their 4, I mean against the Indiana Pacers is very important. Against the Timberwolves is very important. Against the Heat, Orlando, Charlotte and Charlotte and San Antonio they already won the game. Against Dallas, Houston, because they're coming up. Against Dallas at home. Actually, at Dallas, at Dallas. Home at Utah, against Utah. Against the Lakers. Against the Portland. Versus the Pelicans. And against the Utah Jazz, the final game. So 10 out of 4. They need 10 wins and 4 lost. In my opinion, that's my calculation. If I calculated wrong, you just tweet me. So it was a must win for the Golden State Warrior. 14 game left. They need 10 wins to get into the to go to the play-in or be in the 6th spot. Now, the Phoenix Suns. Actually, Phoenix Suns, must win. I believe Isaiah Thomas. I don't think Isaiah Thomas played, because I know that Isaiah Thomas had signed a 10-day contract. Actually, he did. He had played 2 minutes and he didn't score any points. But it's a great thing to see him. It's a great thing to see Isaiah Thomas back, to be in the rotation. So, great pickup, Phoenix. You did a phenomenal job. Now, for them, it's very important It's very important for the Phoenix Sun because now, after this, I'm gonna do the ranking. I'll see their standing right now. It was a must win. It was a must win for them because they need to be in the playoff to secure a play-in or a sixth spot. That's all I gotta say about them. But for the Sixers, yeah, Joel Embiid's not coming back. So and next year you guys will be better because I don't think if Joel Embiid, and this is my question for this, if Joel Embiid comes back and not being conditioned, I think this team will be out in the first round, or they're going to be in the play-in, and you're probably going to get hurt if Joel Embiid plays. So just sit down with Joel Embiid and come strong, come even much stronger next year. Finally, the Clippers must win for the Clippers against the Portland Trailblazers because in this month, the All-Star break, I don't think that if I look at the All-Star break before All-Star and after the All-Star break, I'm gonna look at it because it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. They like what? They like what? They're like what? They're like what? They lost like 8. They lost 8. They lost 8. 8. Wait, 8. 8 at what? 6. They like 8. It's 7 and 8 on the last after the All-Star break. I mean, they need to wake up right now. Right now, and also Kawhi got injured too. Kawhi Leonard also got injured too. So back spasm. But I will give the Clippers credit because even though it's not pretty good for the Clippers after the All-Star break with like 7 win and 8 lost, they're still in the 4th place. If they continue to win for the next like 6-7 game, I think they can jump up to the 3rd seed. But also it will depend on the team who's up there, who's up in the standing, like the Denver Nuggets, who by the way they play very good. So shout out to the Denver Nuggets about their season. So that's all I gotta say for today for the result of the game, or I will say the NBA recap. Now I'm gonna look at the standing. Damn it! I tried to lose my voice. Sorry, I'm gonna drink a little bit of some water. I look at the standing. Boston in the East. Let's start with the East. The East, Boston Celtics already clinched the playoff. Milwaukee Bucks 2nd place. Cleveland just lost. They're still in the 3rd place. New York, the Knicks, 4th place. The 5th place. The Orlando Magic, the up and coming rising Orlando Magic. 6th seed, up and coming rising Indiana Pacers. Now, who's get into the playing? Now, Miami, the Heat, 7th place. Sixers, 8th place. The Bulls, 9th place. And the Hawks, 10th place. So, the standing will still stay the same. Look at the standing. It's not good. It's good, but it doesn't move the needle. So other than the fourth, fifth, and the third seed, actually the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth seed, they're gonna move the needle a little bit. And Miami a little bit disappointed because I thought I know last year they lost, they went to the finals and they lost, but I thought they got better. But they got mediocre. But now they are like mediocre team. I don't know why. But in the playoff is a little bit different. So playoff Jimmy is really real. So if anybody try to face the Miami Heat in the playoff, good luck. That's all I gotta say. Now in the Western Conference, OKC first seed, second place Nuggets, third Timberwolves, Clipper fourth, the Pelican five, the Kings sixth place, Dallas seven, Suns eight, Lakers nine, Golden State Warrior 10. Now there right now, you see they're gonna move the needle. The Pelican are consistent. The only thing they have to do, and I'll say this: the Pelican are my sleeping team, on my dark horse team. I must say, because Zion just lost 25 pounds. Now Zion just lost 25 pounds, and I'm really proud of him. For him and the Pelican, and if they can stay consistent for the remaining season and in the playoff, I believe what Paul Pierce said. I think they can go to the Western Conference Finals. You know what? And I believe it too. The only thing they need to avoid is the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, only the Denver Nuggets. The rest, you should not be worried. Now, the playing team, like the Mavericks, Suns, Lakers, and Golden State Warrior. And also the Sacramento Kings because they're in sixth place. But the sixth place to the Tampa can move the needle. Will move the needle. I mean, it will be a dogfight. And also Houston Rocket. Don't forget the Houston Rocket. They're like in 11th place. They also can be in the play-in. The Western Conference is kind of crazy, man. They're crazy. And yeah, it is crazy. So that's the standing for the Western Conference. Now, when I come back a couple of seconds, I will talk about something that really bothered me right now. After this, so I will take a break right now. Then I'll come back. Welcome back to the Too Good to Be True podcast. I want to say this, and this when I saw this, it really shook my head, and it really bothers me. So for those people who don't know what I'm going to talk about is Kobe Bryant's parents has sell his NBA championship ring. I mean, sold it. His ring, I believe. Let me see how much they Let me see this. I want to do my research. Yes, yes. Pamela Bryant, who's Kobe's mom, the late great Kobe's mom, sold the 2000 championship ring about $260 million, and this one it sounds crazy to me, and I don't understand why you want to sell your late son Kobe Bryant a championship ring for money. And I understand that Kobe's and Kobe's parents and him did not really get along, and I think it goes back. I think it goes back in the what is it like? What is it right now? 24 years ago, 23, 24 years ago, when Kobe Bryant married Vanessa Bryant, who's now the widow right now. And to me, when I see something like this, I think there's a lot of hatred. I think it's BS what they're doing. And the reason why I say it's BS, I know you have anger with your son because he's married. Because this is a true story. This is a true story. You could do your research, people. That Kobe Bryant married Vanessa because she wasn't black. She's a Latina woman, and she is a Latina woman. And Joe Bryant wanted Kobe Bryant to marry a black woman. That's where the hate comes from. Not only the parents, but also the sister. But I don't know what is the relationship after before he passed away. I don't know with the sister thing. This is not it's not my business. But if you're doing this, you're selling because of the of Kobe Bryant. Actually, the parents. Let me restart this. If the parents are bitter, and I said bitter because Kobe Bryant did not marry a Latina, a black woman, and instead Kobe Bryant married Vanessa. I think Kobe Bryant, if he was alive, should not send any money to his parents. And I don't want to say this as a adult who is not married, who does have his parents alive. And I'm not gonna tell you how to give your money away or how to raise your kids. But if it is that, I think you should not send any more money to them, okay? Because this is out of control. I mean, I understand that if you wanted the money, ask your son. But selling his auction, his championship ring, it is really, 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 really kind of stupid. Not just only that. Not just only that. I remember a couple years ago, I think Kobe Bryant's parents, if Kobe Bryant's parents sell I think it was Kobe Bryant's mother, sold all his memorabilia for $1.5 million. And this is the quote from Kobe Bryant. This this is what Kobe Bryant said before. I think it was a long time ago. I don't remember when, but this is what Kobe Bryant said in his own quote. He said, "I never told my mother that she could have my personal property, let alone consign it for public auction." And not only that, Kobe Bryant was took it on Twitter. If I not remember, I tried to look the date. I tried to look the date because I tried to look the date. Yeah, it was in 2013. 2013. I want to read this quickly. In 2013, Brian and his mother Pam had a very public dispute. The two argued about some very valuable Kobe Bryant memorabilia that was up for auction. Brian claimed Pam had taken all of it without his permission, while Pam said her son had agreed to hand it over to her. The dispute eventually led to Brian filing a lawsuit against Pam. And guess what? Kobe Bryant took it on Twitter on, if you remember, May 4th of 2013. May 4th of 2013. Listen what he said on his Twitter. God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant. When you give. Sorry, and they take. At what point do you draw a line in the sand? I totally agree, Kobe. Kobe Bryant's mother shouldn't have sell his memorabilia. Right now, it's kind of very, very selfish of her and very, very egotistic of her. This is so this is disrespectful to the late great Kobe Bryant. God rest his beautiful soul and his daughter Gigi. And you know what? I'm not mad with Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe Bryant. I'm not mad at all. Like I said. And this is why I always tell people, if you're a celebrity, a young up-and-coming entrepreneur, or a person who wants to be want to get some a big $1 million, or want to be like an NBA All-Star, an NBA basketball player, a football player, and so on and so forth. And I'll say this: you give them money once, just twice. You give them twice. The third time, you cut them off. And when I say you cut them off, I mean that they need to find a way to get their own money. It's great to be generous, to give money away, so on and so forth. But in one point, we need to stop. We need to start giving and giving and giving. Because if you give too much, guess what will happen? You'll be broke at the end. That was so many, like 70 was, let's say, I'm going to give a random number. Let's say this. 80% of athletes go broke. Because they've been giving and giving and giving, spending too much money. And what happens if they don't have too much money? What they do? They sell their memorabilia. And I want this young generation of athlete to learn to say no. No, no, no. Even though if your parent try to sell every memorabilia, you say no. Every championship ring, no. Okay? Because it's going out of the hand right now. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. So, Miss Pam Bryant, I think you're a selfish woman and you need to get over it. Him and Joe Bryant. I don't know about the sister, but Joe Bryant also. Now, I want to talk about something that I saw also because I don't just talk about basketball or culture. I also talk about a little bit about wrestling because I'm a huge wrestling fan. And Ronda Rousey in the wrestling news code, wrestling on Twitter. I saw this on wrestling news. Somebody asked a question: if Ronda Rousey intend to go back to the WWE. This is the quote that she said. And I quote, this is her word, not mine. Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis, they can go fuck themselves. That's real. How much as an absolute shit show it was at the WWE. I think when she's talking about when they were there, Bruce Pritchard and John Laurinaitis and with Vince McMahon at the same time. Yeah, that was the other moment. I don't need anything from them, and I don't intend on going back. I can say everything I think and feel where everyone else that he held captive by their organization cannot. So that is a Ronda Rousey quote. And I'm going to make this. If Vince McMahon was there right now with John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard, I will not have a plan to return to WWE. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, I agree with Ronda on that one. Now, the Triple H is in full control right now with the creative, with WWE. I think she will go back. But let's focus on this. When Vince McMahon was there, I remember it was like yesterday. Where Ronda Rousey, I think it was the Royal Rumble, I think wrong before, it was the Royal Rumble in 2018. And I remember, I watched the highlight of the Royal Rumble. At the end of the Royal Rumble match, Asuka had to choose between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. And all of a sudden, we hear Ronda Rousey's song. And then I thought it was a big deal. Remember, she just lost in a UFC match. Comes to the WWE. And I think she could be an attraction. I think Ronda Rousey should be an attraction like Brock Lesnar. I think they should have treated Ronda Rousey like a box office, like an attraction. Just like Brock Lesnar. She doesn't need to wrestle too much. She can stay home, so on and so forth. And then she had a match at WrestleMania 34, a mixed tag team match with Kurt Angle with Ronda Rousey versus the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I thought she had a great match. And then she won the WWE champion against Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. And then things turned off when she lost to Charlotte Flair at Survivor Series. And at the end of the match, Charlotte beat her up, and people was chanting "Thank you." If you don't remember, go watch the Survivor Series 2018. Just chanting "Thank you, Charlotte." You know, she got pissed. Lead the way to the main event of WrestleMania. A 35. Remember, the first woman, a triple threat match. It was the first woman to main event WrestleMania, and I gotta tell you, that match. I know it was very long, like a 5 hour, 7 hour show. But that main event was not good. It's memorable, but because the match was okay. Actually, the match was okay, but the crowd was so tired. And I remember that vividly, by the way, too. I watched it. I thought it was a good show. And then she disappeared. I believe it was like what? 2 years after she came back to the Royal Rumble, won the Royal Rumble. She had a match against Charlotte Flair for the title, and Charlotte retained. That wasn't a good. I thought they're gonna be in the main event, and I don't think so. They were not the main event because Kevin Owens was facing Stone Cold Steve Austin on that main event, that night one WrestleMania. And I think that was the end of her, personally. That was the end of her. And and that was the downhill for her. And I think WWE made a huge mistake. When I say huge mistake, I mean that she should have been an attraction. A big attraction. Which she should have been an attraction, for real. And I think they fumbled it really, really badly. So I don't blame her if she doesn't have plan to come back. But now with Triple H in full control, I think she will. I think she will come back. Now, I know March Madness is coming, and I hope everybody has done their bracket. If you haven't done your bracket, do it now. You can do it at ESPN, and choose your final four. Who's gonna go to the final four? I already did mine. So if you didn't see it, if you didn't see it, so I'm gonna tell you my final four. My final four for the men, and my final four for the woman. So let's start with the men right now because this is the least interesting. So for my final four, I chose for the men right now. I chose UConn, North Carolina, Houston, and Purdue. All of them number one, which is crazy what I did. All number one seed. Which is true, by the way. Number one. And people say, why Purdue? I say, why Purdue? I think Purdue need to win. I think Purdue in the hot hand because they're in a lot of pressure in this game, in this Final Four, because I think Purdue, they're one of those teams that They always in the March Madness, but they always lose in like in the first round, second round, something like that. So I got Purdue there in the South, in Southern, in the bracket. Now for the woman, I know people will say, "Who's gonna win your fight? What about UConn, North Carolina? What's their why did you choose North Carolina and UConn? Because I mean, North Carolina always been consistent for many years. So and North Carolina also, but I do want to see that dream match, UConn versus North Carolina. That's a dream match I wanted to see. So Houston versus Purdue, maybe not so much, but that's my prediction for the men. Now for the woman, this is the one I want to talk about. So for the woman, my final four for the woman: South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, and USC. Ooh, that's my final four. I think Iowa will go to the final. I think South Carolina will go to the final. I do not believe no team in the women bracket will beat South Carolina. I mean, they're undefeated, and they showed it why. Last year they were undefeated, even though they lost to the Final Four. They show you why they are threats in this tournament. Texas, I don't know why. I had a gut feeling about this. USC, I think Juju Watson. It will depend because Juju Watson, she's not always going to carry that team. She needs help around her talent, and her teammate need to help her to elevate. Right now, in the Iowa, I think Caitlin Clark will get her revenge. It's not going to be easy for Iowa. I think Caitlin Clark will get her revenge, go to the Final Four. So that's my Final Four bracket for the man and the woman. And before I leave, I just want to say probably two or three things I want to talk about. Two or three things. For number one, I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Dre, who got his Walk of Fame ceremony, Walk of Fame in Hollywood right now, in Los Angeles, which he deserved it. I mean, he deserved to be have his own Walk of Fame, Hollywood Walk of Fame in LA. And in this picture, who showed up in Dr. Dre Walk of Fame? You got Eminem, of course, 50 Cent. Oh, absolutely. Snoop Dogg and Jimmy Iovine. Yeah, they saw corrupt there. I'll be honest with you, I saw corrupt. Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre. I think Jimmy Iovine is very important in Dr. Dre's career. If you watch the Define One on Netflix, which is very great documentary. This is where it launched the music business, like the atmosphere like we never seen before. So Jimmy Iovine shopping there, so congratulations. Snoop Dogg, everybody know why. 50 Cent, you know why. Eminem, you know why. So shout out to Dr. Dre and his Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now the Browns in the NFL, the Browns signed wide receiver Jerry Jeudy for a 3-year contract extension up to $58 million, include $41 million fully guaranteed. So I think the AFC North will be a very a clash of champions. Let's say this. It will be like a war in the AFC North. So this is going to be a war. And my third, and I'm gonna say it as a Saint fan. I would say as a Saint fan that the New Orleans Saints has signed um, Chase Young for a 1 year deal. I think it was $13 million for a 1 year deal. So I'm pretty fine with. I'm pretty okay with it. I think he's a game changer for the Saints because the Saints need a pass rusher. Just last year they didn't have one, so that one, it is what it is. So yes, I'm so happy with my Saints. I know he got a neck surgery, which I'm not worried about. So he could take a day off, a couple of months for his neck to be clear. And just a bonus thing. If you know, I don't know if you saw this. 2 days ago, Grady Dick swapped his his jersey with Anthony Black, and you see this jersey swap. You see it. You know what? You know, if you put it together, he said, you see it, it said Black Dick. That was so classic to me. And this is what he said before I leave. He said, guys' jerseys swapped with their boys. And that's my friend. Which is true. I didn't know which is true. But I was just saying that it's so funny. So funny that the jersey swap. So that's all I gotta say for today. But thank you very much to listening to this Too Good to Be True podcast. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on X formerly Twitter, at Belly versus PMM on PMM on Instagram. Pascal _Mayala _15. Same thing with threads. At Pascal _Mayala _15. And I'm going to say this. Thank you very much for listening to it. And I'll see you right here in France, where I am, where I live now. 2:00 in the morning. And in the United, I think in North America, like 8:00 in the evening. So see you Saturday.